So, Mr. Sarthak, addition of integers. Okay. What is your first answer?
3.
I'm sorry?
3.
3. So what you did was you added these two. You got -5 plus 5.
Yes, sir.
This became 0. And 0 plus 3 is equal to plus 3. Correct?
Yes, sir.
What is the second answer that you got?
1.
1. How did you do? You added these two, -3 and -5. You got -8. Then you added these two. You got 7 plus 2, 9. And 9 minus 8 is plus 1. Yes, sir?
Yes, sir.
What is the third answer?
-6.
-6.
Yes.
So -5, -3, -8, -2, -10, and plus 4 is -6. Correct? Correct, Mr. Sarthak. D part?
-3.
-3. Okay. -3 and -2 is -5. -5 and -3 is -8. -8 and plus 5 is -3. Yes, sir?
Yes, sir.
Okay. E part?
1.
1. -2 and -3 is -5. -5 and -1 is -6. -6 and plus 7 is 1. Correct? Correct?
Yes, sir.
What is the answer for this?
-6.
-6. -3 -5 is -8. -9. -9 and plus 3 is -6. Correct?
Yes, sir.
G part. What is the answer?
-13.
-13. Okay. -2, -3, -5, -10, -13. Yes, sir?
Yes, sir.
Okay. H part. What is the answer?
2.
2. So -2 and -3 is -5. -5 and plus 7 is 2. Okay. I part.
-10.
-10. -3 -5 is -8. -8 -2 is -10. Correct?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Okay. This J part.
-5.
-1 and -2 is -3. -3 and -5 is -8. -8 and plus 3 is -5. Yes, sir?
Yes, sir.
Okay. K part.
-1.
-2 and -3 is -5. -5 and -1 is -6. -6 plus 5 is -. Okay. Next part. L part.
-5.
Okay, -2 and -1 is -3. Plus 5 and plus 3 is plus 8. So plus 8 and -3 is plus 5. Yes, sir?
+5. Yes.
Okay. Last part.
-2.
-2, -1 is -3. -5. -5 and plus 3 is -2. Correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Should we do subtraction of integers?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Subtraction of integers. Okay, Sarthak, we'll do the simple questions first. So Simple questions like, for example, I have 5 and I want to subtract 3 from it. Now this is simple. We understand that this is 2. Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Now things become a bit confusing. If I have 5 and I want to subtract -3 from it. Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Now one easy way of seeing it is that if there is a negative sign outside the bracket, I'll repeat. If there is a negative sign, if there is a negative sign outside the bracket, the sign of the number inside will change. So this means that this implies 5 plus 3. Sarthak, have you understood?
Yes, sir.
I'll take another example. For example, if there is 3 minus 5, yeah? So Sarthak, this 5 is positive or negative?
Positive.
Positive. There is a negative standing outside.
Yes, sir.
This negative will change the sign of this 5. So it will become 3 minus 5. Is it okay?
Yes, sir.
3 minus 5 is
-2.
-2. Now there shouldn't be any confusion in this because I can write 3 minus 5 as 3 mountains and 5 valleys. 3 mountains and 5 valleys is equal to 2 valleys. Yes, sir.
Yes.
So these are 3 mountains, these are 5 valleys, and this is equal to 2 valleys. Okay. Let us take some few more examples. For example, there is 7 minus minus 5. Again, there is a minus outside the bracket. Whenever there is a minus outside the bracket, the sign of the number inside the bracket changes. So this will be equal to Sarthak 7.
Yes, sir.
What should I write here?
7 plus 5.
Is equal to
12.
yes, sir. Any confusion?
No, sir.
Let us take another example. -3 minus -7. Now this -3 will remain as it is. There is a minus outside this bracket. So -7 will become
+7.
and the answer would be
4.
3 valleys, 7 mountains is equal to 4 mountains.
4.
Yeah,
Yes.
this is easy. 4 mountains, 3 valleys, 7 mountains is equal to 4 mountains. So this is equal to +4. Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Let us take another example. -10 minus 3 plus 2. So this will be equal to -10. What should I write next?
+3.
+3. What should I?
+2.
This will be equal to
5.
+5 or -5?
-5.
-10 plus 5 is equal to -5. Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Let us take more example. Minus 3 minus 2 plus 3 plus minus 1 plus minus 2. Yeah. Satak will do it step by step. So what should I write first?
minus 3 plus 2
Minus 3 plus 2. Yes, sir. What should I write next?
plus 3
Plus 3. Next.
plus minus 1
Beta, when there is a plus outside the bracket, when there is a plus outside the bracket, when you open the bracket, when you open the bracket, the sign of the number inside doesn't change. Have you understood?
Yes, sir.
For example, there is a minus outside, the sign will change of the number inside. But if there is a positive outside, then the sign of the number inside doesn't change. Have you understood?
Yes, sir.
So minus 3 is minus 3. Minus of minus 2 is plus 2. Plus 3 is plus 3. What should I write for this?
minus 1
Minus 1. Correct. 1 second. Because there is a positive outside, this sign won't change. So I'll write minus 1. What should I write next?
minus 2
Minus 2. Correct. Okay. Now what will be the answer? What will be the answer, Mr. Sarthak?
minus 1 minus 1
Okay, let us check. So 3 plus 2 is 5. So this is plus 5. Minus 3 minus 1 is 4, and this is minus 2, minus 6. Now I have minus 6 and plus 5. My answer would be minus 1. Yes or no, sir?
Yes, sir.
Let us do some more practice. Minus 2 minus minus 3 plus minus 3 minus minus 5 plus minus 2 minus minus 1. Okay. So in the first step, what should I write first?
minus 2
Minus 2
minus 3 plus 3
plus 3. Next,
plus 3
y plus 3.
sorry minus 3 only.
See, the rule is very simple. If there is a minus outside, if there is a minus outside, the sign of the number inside will change. Yeah. And
Yes, sir.
if there is a positive outside, the sign of the number inside will remain the same. Have you understood?
Yes, sir.
What should I write next?
plus 5
Correct. Next.
minus 2
Correct. Next.
plus 1
Shabash. Okay. So what will be the final answer?
+2.
Okay, let us check. So -2, -3, -2. So this will be -7. 3 plus 5 is 8. 8 plus 1 is 9. So my answer would be +2. Mr. Sarda, correct?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Let us do another example. -7 plus -3 -1 plus -2 -3 -2. Okay. What should I write, Mr. Sarthak?
+7.
+7
-3.
-3.
-1.
Why -1?
Sorry, +1.
+1
-2.
-2
-3.
-3
+2.
plus. What will be the final answer?
2.
Let us check. So first I'll take the negative numbers. When I take the negative numbers, -3, -2, -3. So this is -8. When I take the positive numbers, it is 7 plus 1, 8. 8 plus 2 is 10. So this is +10. +10 minus 8 is +2. Correct, Mr. Sarthak?
Yes, sir.
Sir. Another example. What should I write first?
+2.
+2
-3.
-3
-7.
-7
+3.
+3
-10.
-10
-2.
-2. Okay. So what will be the answer?
-17.
Okay. Let us check. So I'll solve the negatives first. -3 -7 is -10. -10 -10 -20 -22. And this is 3 plus 2 is 5. Sarthak, is it okay?
Yes, sir.
So the answer would be
-15. -17.
-17. Correct. Sarthak, have you understood?
Yes, sir.
Let's take another example. So the rules are simple. If there is a negative outside, the sign of the number inside changes. And if there is a positive outside, then the sign of the number inside doesn't change. It is very simple. if you understand this basic rule. Okay, Mr. Sarthak, what should I write?
Plus 2.
Plus 2.
Minus 3.
Minus 3.
Minus 2.
Minus 2.
Minus 3.
Minus 3.
Plus 7.
Plus 7.
Plus 3.
Plus 3. So what will be the final answer?
Plus 4.
Okay, let us solve. So 7 plus 2 is 9. 9 plus 3 is 12. 3 minus 2. Minus 3 minus 2 is minus 5. Minus 5 minus 3 is minus 8. So this is minus 8. This is plus 12. My final answer would be 4. Mr. Sarthak, is it correct?
Yes, sir.
Have you understood, Sarthak?
Yes, sir.
Is there any difficulty now?
No, sir.
Yes. Okay. Let us do some sums from the textbook. Okay, Mr. Sarthak. Yeah. First would be answer would be
So I'll just do minus 15.
y minus 15
Sorry, plus 15.
plus 15. Answer would be
18. Minus 18.
see the logic remains the same. So for example, if I get confused about this, I'll make a small example. I'll write this as 2 minus 5, just as an example. So whenever I get confused about the signs, I can make a small example of my own. So 2 minus 5, I know that it is minus 3. So this sign would be negative. Sarthak, have you understood?
Yes, sir.
C part. Now you can solve this in 2 steps. One is you can write this as minus 15. And what should I write for this?
Plus 18.
Plus 18. Shabash. So write this step. This is step 1. This is step 1. Now the answer would be
Plus 3.
plus 3. Correct. For such complicated questions, when you find such complex questions, you can always use steps. So, for example, in this case, what would be the step 1? What should I write in step 1?
Minus 20.
Minus 20.
Plus 13.
Y plus 30.
Oh, sorry, minus 13.
What is the sign of this number?
Plus.
Plus. There is a minus standing outside. So this will become minus 13.
Yes.
This is step 1. And what would be the answer?
Minus 7.
Minus 7. So let us make a small example. Let us make a small example. Minus 2 minus 3 is?
Minus 1.
Minus 1. Okay. Let us take the value example. I have 2 valleys, and these are 3 valleys. So how many total valleys?
5.
Is there any confusion?
No, sir.
What should be the answer?
Sir, but in this we have to subtract this, right?
Okay, so all I'm saying is let us forget about the negative sign. Okay. So for example, I have -2 and -5. And I have -2 plus 5. Yeah.
Yes, sir.
So this -2 are 2 valleys, and this +5 are 5 mountains. Yes, sir, no, sir?
Yes, sir.
This -2 is valley or mountain?
Valley.
Valley. This -5 is mountain or valley?
Valley.
Valley. I understand your confusion, Mr. Sarthak. I understand that. Everybody faces that confusion. But all I'm trying to tell you is that whenever you face any confusion, just go back to mountains and valleys. Now, this answer for this would be mountains or valleys?
Valleys.
How many valleys?
7.
7 valleys. Yes.
So, but why did we add? Why did we add and not subtract?
Yeah, that is what I'm trying to tell you. Whenever I face any confusion, I always go back to the example of mountain and valleys. This is the easiest way of understanding. So I'll take two small numbers, 2 and 3. So see, 2 plus 3, 2 minus 3, -2 plus 3, -2 minus 3. Is it okay?
Yes, sir.
Now let us see. 2 plus 3, I'll write like this.
Yes, sir.
2 minus 3, I'll write like this. I do not know anything about plus or minus. I only know about mountains and valleys. Yes, sir, no, sir.
Yes, sir.
So whenever I get confused, I just start drawing these. So -2 plus 3, 2 valleys and 3 mountains. I'm not doing any subtraction, addition, multiplication. I'm not doing anything. I'm just drawing valleys and mountains. Mr. Sarthak, is there any confusion?
No, sir.
In mountains and valleys, is there any confusion?
No, sir.
So do not think in terms of, whenever you get confused, start drawing valleys and mountains. So this will be equal to how many valleys, how many? This will be equal to
5.
5 mountains. Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
This will be equal to
-1.
I do not know about -1. I just know mountain and valleys. So this will be equal to how many mountains?
1 valley.
1 valley. Sorry. This will be equal to
1 mountain.
mountain. And this will be equal to
5 valleys.
5 valleys. Have you understood?
Yes, sir.
Now let us take this question where I was having a confusion. -20 minus +20. minus 20 minus 20 minus 30. So in step 1, I'll write this as minus 20 minus 13. Is it correct?
Yes, sir.
Now, Mr. Sarthak, all I'm trying to tell you is that let us assume that you have got confused at this step. What I'm trying to tell you is take a small example. Make a small example of your own. So the smallest example I can make of my own is minus 2 and minus 3. Is it correct?
Yes, sir.
Minus 2 and minus 3 would be equal to?
-5.
Have you understood?
Yes.
So whenever I face any confusion, I make a small example of mountains and valleys. So what do you think should be answer of this? Mr. Sarthak,
-33.
have you understood?
Yes, sir.
Sir, whenever you will, if you start thinking in terms of minus plus, then it becomes a bit confusing. And whenever you face any confusion, just go back to mountains and valleys. And if there is a complex question, so for example, this question I'll do in 2 steps. So in step 1, I will write this as step 1 would be
23
23
plus 12
plus 12. This would be equal to,
35.
is there any confusion? Mr. Sarthak, is there any confusion?
No, sir.
See, when you start doing these questions, there is a confusion in the beginning. But what I have seen is that whenever I take example of mountains and valleys, if I make a small example of my own, usually the confusion goes up. And the second simple rule that I need to always remember is, as long as I'm doing mathematics, that whenever there is a negative outside the bracket, so negative outside the bracket, the sign of the number inside will change. If there is a plus outside the bracket, the sign of the number inside does not change. Sarthak, have you understood?
Yes, sir.
So we are using only 2 rules. One is of mountains and valleys, and the second is this rule. That is all that we need to solve these questions.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So Mr. Sarthak, for F part, step 1, what should I write?
-32
Sabash.
plus 40.
Sabash. See, I can say that there is an invisible positive side outside. So when this bracket opens, the number sign will not change. Here there is a negative, so sign of the number inside will change. And this answer would be equal to, Mr. Sarthak?
+8.
Wash. Very nice, Mr. Sarthak. This is a addition and subtraction of integers is a confusing topic. Usually students get very confused about this. So let us do this. So step 1 would be
-7
minus 7,
minus 8,
minus 8,
plus 25,
plus 25,
plus 10,
plus 10. So minus 7 and minus 8 is minus 15. Minus 15 and plus 25 is plus 10. Correct. Next.
minus 13,
13,
plus 32,
plus 32. What will be my final answer?
plus 20,
Okay. Minus 15 and minus 8 is minus 21. Minus 21 and minus 1 is minus 22. Minus 22 and plus 32 is plus 10. Correct, Mr. Sarthak?
yes, so
What is step 1?
minus 7, minus 8, minus 90,
What is the final answer?
minus 105,
Correct. So minus 7 and minus 8 is minus 15. Minus 15 and minus 90 is minus 105. Very nice, Mr. Sarthak. Okay. Step 1.
50, plus 40,
Plus 40.
plus 2,
Answer will be
92.
Shabash. Very nice, Mr. Sarthak. Very nice. Let's practice some more questions.
Yes, so
Yes, sir. Hmm. These are a bit different questions, but I think you will enjoy these questions. Okay. So the question is, these are word problems. I think you will be able to do them. Following number line shows the temperature in degrees Celsius at different places on a particular day. So this is the temperature of this is the temperature of Lahore Spiti. This is the temperature of Srinagar. This is the temperature of Simla. This is the temperature of Ooty. This is the temperature of Bengaluru. So first tell me, what is the temperature of Bengaluru?
plus 25 degrees Celsius.
Okay, this is 21. Sorry, this is 20.
Oh,
This is 25. So this will be
22 degrees.
22. Shabash. This will be, Ooty will be
14 degrees.
14. Simla would be
5 degrees.
Srinagar would be
-3 degrees.
why -3?
Sorry, -2.
-2. And Lahore Spiti would be
-8.
-8. Yeah. So we
Yes,
have
sir.
part A. Part B is, what is the temperature difference between the hottest and the coldest places? So what is the hottest place?
Bangalore,
That is, what temperature is Bangalore?
22 degrees.
22. And what is the coldest?
-8.
-8. What would be the difference? How will you find the difference? Yes or no, sir?
Yes, sir.
What will be the answer?
+30.
+30, because I can write this as 22 plus 8, and this will be +30. Sarthak, have you understood?
Yes, sir.
The difference between Lahore Spiti and Bangalore would be 30 degrees Celsius. Yes, sir?
Yes, sir.
Okay. What is the temperature difference between Lahore Spiti and Srinagar? Basically, we want the
-6.
-8 and Srinagar. So this is -8, and I'm sorry, this is -2. I'm sorry. There is a
So -6.
one second. -8 and minus. So the difference between these two is -8. Sorry, -8 and minus -2. -8 plus 2 would be -6. Is it okay, Mr. Sarkar?
Yes, sir.
D part. Can we say temperature of Srinagar and Shimla taken together? So what is the temperature for Srinagar?
-2.
-2. And what is the temperature for Shimla?
+5.
+5. Both of these taken together, what is the temperature?
+3.
Plus- Is less than the temperature at Shimla. Yes sir, no sir. Temperature at Shimla is,
Yes, sir.
because temperature at Shimla is +5.
5.
So this 3 is less than +5.
Yes, sir.
Is it also less than temperature at Srinagar? What is the temperature at Srinagar?
-2.
So is 3 less than -2?
No, sir.
This is false. Have you understood?
Yes, sir.
Is there any confusion? Mr. Sarthak, is there any confusion?
No, sir.
Okay, let us do another question. Okay. Question number 3. At Srinagar, temperature was -5 degrees Celsius on Monday. So, on Monday, I'll make some space. 1 second. So, the temperature on Monday was -5, and then it dropped by 2 degrees Celsius on Tuesday. Yeah. So,
Yes, sir.
if we have this number line, it was -5 on Monday. It dropped by 2 degrees Celsius. Drop means, does it increase or does it decrease?
Decrease.
So if it decreases by 2 degrees Celsius, what will be the temperature on Tuesday?
-3 degrees.
Okay, so Sarthak, here usually there is a confusion. That is why we have to be very clear about the number line. We have to be very clear about the number line. So if I'm at -1 and I go here and I go here, so what will be this number?
1.
What will be this number?
-3.
-3. So 2 right is +1 and 2 left is -3. Yes or no, sir?
Yes, sir.
Let's take another example. 0, yeah. Let us say I'm at -3 and I reach here. This is 4 left, sorry, 4 right, and this is 4 left. What will be this number and what will be this number?
+1.
Okay, and this would be
-7.
-3, -4, -5, -6, -7. Okay, so let us look at this example now. So on Monday, the temperature was -5. Then it dropped by 2 on Tuesday. So this temperature would be
-3.
okay. Let us look again. Sarthak, what would be this temperature? This temperature.
-3.
-3. Then what will be this temperature?
-7.
Have you understood?
Yes, sir.
See, -3. If I go 4 right, I reach here. But if I go 4 left, I reach here. Is there any confusion?
No, sir.
Let's take another example so that this confusion doesn't arise again. So let me take another example. So this is, let us assume this is -4. And I jump 3 right and I jump 3 left. So what will be this number? And what will be this number? What is this number?
-1.
-1. What is this number?
-7.
-7. Is there any confusion?
No, sir.
No, sir. On Wednesday, it rose by 4 degrees Celsius. So after Tuesday, it rose by 4 degrees Celsius. So what would be the new number? What would be the new temperature? If it rose by 4 degrees Celsius.
-3. -3.
Okay, let us check. So 1, 2, 3, 4. It reaches here, correct?
Yes, sir.
4 right. 1, 2, 3. And this will be equal to -3. Yes, sir, no, sir?
Yes, sir.
Confusion?
No, sir.
Okay. Let us do this question. Plane is flying at a height of 5,000 meters above sea level. So this is 5,000 above sea level. This is 5,000 meters. At a particular point, it is exactly above a submarine floating 1,200 meters below the sea level. So this submarine, Mr. Sarthak, is 1,200 meters down. So the question is, what is the vertical distance between them? So what is the distance between the aeroplane and the submarine, Mr. Sarthak? What is this distance?
Plus 6,200 meters.
Shabash, 6,200 meters. 5,000 meters plus 1,200 meters. Yes, sir?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Let's do one final question. Yeah? This is the last question.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Rita goes 20 kilometers towards east. So this is east. From point A. So this is point A to the point B. So from A to the point B, this distance is 20 kilometers. Yeah?
Yes, sir.
From B, she moves 30 kilometers towards west. Now this is west. And she comes 30 kilometers here. Yes, sir?
Yes, sir.
If the distance between towards east is represented by positive integer, so this is positive, then how will you represent the distance traveled towards east? So this distance traveled, Mr. Sarthak,
Yes, sir.
towards west. The question is, if the distance towards east is represented by positive integer, then how will you represent the distance traveled towards west? This 30,
Minus.
gosh, this will be minus. Very nice. Next, by which integer will you represent our final position from A? What?
-10.
-10. Shabash. Very nice. Is there still any confusion, Mr. Sarthak?
Yes. No, sir.
Yes, sir. Okay, I'll send you a few more questions. Try to do them also.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.